Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another video on ECG. I am Dr. Wajid Shibir. I have done residency in cardiology and currently I am working as a registrar cardiology. This is the ECG which we are going to discuss today. Before starting the discussion, we will repeat the exercise and you have to pause your videos, note down the findings and diagnosis with yourself so that at the end of the video you are able to compare your findings and diagnosis with the discussion done in this video. So let's begin the discussion on this ECG. As you know, the first thing which we look at on an ECG is rhythm. For rhythm, we will look at the rhythm strip, which is lead to a long lead at the base of bottom of the ECG. As you can see that there are prominent and upright P waves before QRS complexes. So presence of upright and prominent P waves before QRS complexes means that the rhythm is originating from SA node. Next is heart rate. For heart rate there are multiple formulas. Here we will use a formula that is 300 divided by number of large scales between two RL complexes. We will select these two complexes, this one, and between these QRS complexes we will calculate the number of large boxes. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. To get the heart rate, we will divide 300 by number of large boxes, which is 11 in this case. So 300 divided by 11 is equal to 27. So heart rate is 27 beats per minute. So this is a bradycardia. Next we will move on to the axis. As you know, for axis we look at the direction of QRS complexes in lead 1 and lead AVF. This is lead 1 and lead AVF. As you can see that the QRS complex is negative in lead 1 while it is directed upwards or it is positive in lead AVF. So by rule of thumb, the axis in this case is right axis deviation. Next we will find the cause of bradycardia in this case. To find the cause of bradycardia, we will trace the P waves. As you can see, this is one P wave, this is the second one, this is another P wave. The atrial rate appears to be 300, 150, 100, 75 and 60. The heart atrial rate in this case is around 60 per minute while the ventricular rate as we calculated earlier was 27 per minute. Now the next P wave will lie around here and then there is a P wave here, there is P wave here, another P wave, you can find a P wave here, this is a P wave, this is the P wave. As you can see that some of the QRS complexes are preceded by 2 P waves while other QRS complexes are preceded by 3 P waves in this case. So this means that there is underlined heart block. To differentiate between different types of heart block, we should look at the PR interval. As you know very well that in case of first degree AV block, the PR interval is constant and prolonged. But here we can see that the some of PR intervals are short while some are prolonged. So this is not a case of first degree AV block. Similarly, in Mobitz 1, there is progressive PR prolongation followed by drop beat. But here we can see that there is a PR interval and there is P wave which is not being conducted, then there is a prolonged PR interval, then another P wave not being conducted. So this is obviously not Mobitz 1. In case of Mobitz type 2, we find a constant PR interval. We find a constant PR interval with constant number of P waves followed by QRS complexes. But in this case, the PR interval before different QRS complex is variable. Before some QRS complexes, it is small, and before other, it is prolonged. Also, another important finding is that the RR interval is regular. The distance between different R waves is regular. So, whenever you find a bradycardia with variable PR interval and fixed RR interval, it means that this is a complete AV block. So once we have decided that this is a complete heart block, the next thing is to find the origin of escape rhythm. Escape rhythm could be from the AV junction, it could arise from bundle office, or could be of ventricular origin. To differentiate between a junctional escape rhythm and ventricular escape rhythm, we have to look at the duration of QRS complexes. Here you can see that the duration of QRS complexes is prolonged. In case of junctional rhythm, the duration of QRS complex is less than 3 small scale. While here you can see that the duration of QRS complex is clearly more than 3 small scale. So this is most likely a ventricular escape rhythm. Other important findings in this ECG include a T wave inversion in lead V2, in lead 2, lead 3 and lead AVF. Similarly, there is T wave inversion in lead V2, V3. So there is possibility of associated ischemia in this case. Now, what will be the treatment in this case? Now, if the patient presents with symptomatic bradycardia and complete AV block in emergency department, he should be managed with IV atropine and inotropes like dopamine, norepi or isoprenaline. And he should be prepared for temporary pacemaker, and after ruling out the reversible causes, patient should have a permanent pacemaker implanted. However, if the patient presents with complete heart block and bradycardia and he is hemodynamically stable, means he is maintaining his blood pressures, he does not have any signs of heart failure or ongoing ischemia, then he should be observed in ER. The cardiology should be taken on board. All the reversible causes are ruled out, and if patient has a history of syncope or symptomatic bradycardia, then he should proceed for permanent pacemaker implantation. So this is all for today. Hopefully you liked the video. For more videos, kindly subscribe to our channel and stay tuned. Allah Hafiz and take care till next time.